Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be a 2,500 point game of my Warriors of Chaos up against some Lizardmen. So yeah, this is going to be great. I now have that new Throg special character, and so really with that, I could just make a completely new army with just the models I have, given the trolls and giants and stuff that I have from my Orc and Goblin army, plus I had already a Chimera from the Winds of Magic or Storm of Magic book, so I pretty much can make an army just as it was. So this game here is going to be a meeting engagement. Pretty much the only terrain that really matters that you're seeing here is the one in the middle. That's actually a sorcerer portal, so we'll be shooting out magic and being annoying. And what I have going is on the far left I have Throg and 18 trolls. Then I have 18 trolls, there's a giant, a Nurgle giant, and a Chimera that I give the regen and the breath weapon. Starting in reserves for me will be another 6 trolls, and then back here, kind of like on the other side of my book, is also a level 1 sorcerer on foot who has the lore of fire, and just shooting fireballs, and has the spell scroll. On his side, from left to right, he has 2 salamanders, 1 salamander, then a big horde of Saurus with spears, and in there he has an Old Blood and a Scarvet BSB. Then he has Temple Guard with his Slann. His Slann is running Shadow, with of course Rumination, Lore Master, and he ignores one of the all my 6s. And then he has 2 units of Skinks. He's also going to have some Chameleons coming on, and for him starting off the board, he had an Ancient Stegodon and 2 more units of the Skinks, and there are 12 each with the Javelins. Now, really for me, looking into this, my giants, I realize, are just going to be shot to hell, they're just going to die, but the hope is hopefully they can take a unit of Skinks down with them. I mean, not really a fair trade, 66 points or whatever it is compared to the 200 I am, but hey, whatever. I set up first, I'm probably going to be going first, and really what I need to do is get into that Saurus, get into that Temple Guard, and just rip them up. Of course it's going to be hard dealing with their magic phase, and really, I mean, who knows what that Old Blood has, who knows where the Flaming Banner is, so could be kind of scary, but we'll see how it goes. And here's his Chameleons behind my lines. I mean, I could have put something farther back to make it so that they couldn't be deploying back here, but really my plan is just to kill them with a fireball anyway, so I wasn't too worried. So turn 1, I have no stupidity issues. You can see my 6 trolls came here on the left, and they're just going to be there to try and scare away the salamanders. The sorcerer portal gave me the speed of light, so that's pretty cool. Otherwise, you can see I'm just kind of moving up there. And really what happened with magic is I went and I did the big fireball off on those chameleon skinks. Totally fried them, but then I had a dimensional cascade and I lost my level 1. So, glad to have the chameleons gone, but really sad that I didn't even get to use my scroll. And then apart from that, really all he did was back up and then shot into my giants here, and already my Nurgle giant's down to 1 wound, so he's pretty useless. My turn 2, the small unit here fails stupidity, which really sucks because then I can't scare away those salamanders, and it turns out this forest here just causes fear, so really nothing. However, my Chimera was able to do a charge against the single salamander. He fled and got away, but that put me by the portal here, and then the portal decided to shoot a fireball at me and take off 2 wounds, so these portals are always a pain for me. Biggest thing in this turn, though, is I got my Troll Horde into the Temple Guard, killed a ton of them, and yeah, he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. And then here's just an overview. So like I said, the Trolls went and messed up the Temple Guard. They did not have the Flaming Banner. The Giant is there to go and protect my flank while my Trolls try and move up. And then my Nurgle Giant is booking it away, trying to stay alive. His turn 2, it's just now that he's bringing in his reserves. He had forgotten to do it on his first turn, so, I mean, if I don't deal with these Temple Guard right away, I'll be having a Stegodon going into my flank, but at least I guess I'm pretty lucky I'm not having him in the flank as it is right now. So he decided not even to come in with the Saurus at all. I mean, he'd be showing off his flank to my trolls, but man, you can really see about how his Salamander shooting into my trolls with Throg is really starting to whittle down the unit to the point where I don't know if I can even really use them against that Saurus horde. But the biggest thing here is I killed off all of his Saurus, all of his Temple Guard, and then his slan stuck. I mean, because since he did a fair amount of wounds to me, he was down to needing like a cold 4 or whatever, and he got it with the reroll. So it would have been pretty awesome. I could have gone and flanked the Saurus on my turn, but yeah, that's the way it goes. My turn 3 now, and this was kind of interesting with the charges. I have my trolls and my giant go into the source, because I figure with the giant help at least I should be okay. But even though I just needed a 6, I failed, so my giant's going alone. Turns out this force up here causes fear as well, so again, pretty much nothing. And then the other thing is I had my one Chimera charge into the 2 Salamanders. It was a pretty far charge. He even fled. Only fled 4 inches, and I actually got them. I rolled really high, so that was pretty lucky. Got that points off the table, and yeah, I just hope that my giant can hold up for a little while. And this portal's deciding to be a jerk again, and now hits my Nurgle giant with a fireball and kills him. So there's 215 points down, thanks to terrain. And at the end, it looks like this. So of course I beat this land, he's dead, and the big question I had to have is whether I should face left or right for if I want to have a chance going into the Saurus or something, because I did that combat first. Then I did the giant, and man, I just got messed up. I didn't even get to go. His old blood killed me by himself. Turns out he only had an extra hand weapon, but he just rolled like a champ. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty lucky. I mean, his turn is next, and he could have just looked at the rear of the trolls, but I think he was kind of worried that he'll be actually taking a lot of damage, and then Throg will be coming into him if he overruns, maybe into a rear or something. So he's decided to go and face me instead. So his turn 3, he has his Saurus come into my trolls, and here we go. I get to see how good Throg is in combat. And at the end it looks like this, so I went and killed off the champ or whatever, and then that was pretty much it. I mean, he's not going to go and engage my trolls. He's happy to shoot them. One of the mistakes I made with my trolls at the top there is that when I reformed them, I made them so that they're too wide to charge past the building. So that was kind of stupid on my part. But yeah, you know, I killed off the whole back rank of his Saurus, so that's nice. But yeah, I mean, I'm losing trolls too. My turn 4, I have my Chimera go over and breathe fire on a unit of skinks there. I kill all but one, and that one's going to be running off the board. In this combat, now that the champ is dead, he takes a challenge with his old blood, and I figure between my 5 strength 8 attacks and my 2d6 strength 5 breath weapon that ignores armor, I'll be able to kill him easily. But in the end, he does 2 wounds to me. I only do 1 to him. I lose combat, I break, and he catches me. And of course, this is just devastating because now I'm going to have a bunch of stupidity on Leadership 4, and that's just bad news. So maybe my Chimera can get into like a rear or something here and score these points, and then I'll be okay, but that's pretty much it right now. So his turn 4, he actually takes his Saurus into my 6 trolls. He didn't really need to. I mean, he could have really held back and just shot them up or something. But, you know, he's trying to have more fun too. So he just wants to try and get some kills. And I mean, if my trolls can hold him here for 1 turn, then I'm pretty sure I can get a Chimera into their rear. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't to be. You know, he kills some of my guys, I kill some back, I break, and at least I got away. And yeah, we'll see if now I'm joking my force trolls can do anything. My turn 5, my big trolls fail stupidity. These trolls actually rally on Leadership 4, so at least I have enough to fight. And my Chimera went for the charge and failed. So then on his turn 5, he just charges in again, beats me, I break, and I get away again. But one of the things here is, man, if you look at his unit, I did 0 wounds. Between all my attacks and my stomps, I did nothing. So that was kind of embarrassing, but at least I'm still holding on to these points. My turn 6 was exactly the same as turn 5. These guys, okay, my big trolls again fail stupidity. These trolls again rally, and then my Chimera fails the rear charge. And then finally on his turn, he decides to have some fun. He sends his Salamander into my Chimera. Remember, only has 2 wounds left. But one of the things that's kind of funny with this is, of course, with his new tail attack, he has +1 to hit models in the rear. And I thought, like, when is this ever going to happen? And then here, my first game is going to happen. And then over here, he decided, okay, well, of course he beat me and I broke, and he actually decided to reform instead of chasing me. I think it's just because he thought that I was going to go off the board or that it was another turn, but I rolled double ones, and so did not go off the board. So funny enough, this little unit of 6, if nothing else, didn't, lose me any points. They held on to their points because this one guy with a couple of wounds left is still here. And then, as you expect, my Chimera just went and ate that salamander for lunch. So it was a pretty bloody game, but in the end, he was up by 200 points-ish, so he wins. But it was pretty interesting. I mean, I know going into this, I definitely made some mistakes, and there's some things that I would want to change. I mean, really, this isn't meant to be a competitive army. This is more here to use just the models I have. I mean, the Giants really aren't that great when you compare them to the Chimeras. And as you see here, I went and I traded in some old stuff to get a second Chimera and a Demon Prince. And again, before you guys going like, oh, Malorian, you said Demon Princes are crap. Again, I think in a competitive army, I would not take them. But for this type of a theme, where I'm going for a monster list, yeah, I'm going to go with them. If I want to go win a tournament, I want to have, 20 Nurgle warriors, and then there I'm going to have my BSB and my level 4. But as it is with this, it'll be pretty cool to have my guy going around and all this fun stuff. But yeah, obviously there's some points in the games that could have really swung things. If my trolls could have gone and not failed stupidity, so they could have charged away those salamanders, that would have helped. If the slan would have broken, then I could have gone to the flank of those Saurus there, and that would have obviously just ended the game right away, pretty much. And I mean, man, that stupid Sorcerer's Portal, messing up my Chimera, even though it didn't matter, and then killing my Nurgle Giant. I mean, that was pretty much the difference right there. If that thing wouldn't have killed my Nurgle Giant, then it would probably been a tie. But that's just the way it goes. Both of us had a lot of fun, got to kill lots of stuff, and yeah, I expect to see more of these guys soon. Okay, bye.